So will absolutely blow any other transfer dealing in the past. Paul Pogba at 105 million euros tops the list at the moment. It will come in, of course, at 222 million euros, over $250 million. Let's break it down a little more, shall we? The wages are over $1 million a week, of course, over 50 million a year. The whole transfer is in excess of $500 million, including wages and fees. We talk about ambition. We talk about wanting to get out of Messi's shadow. We talk about wanting to be the next Ballon d'Or winner. Neymar's just doubled his wages overnight. A significant amount. Was it really just all about money?
On the face of it, yes. Unless PSG are able to back this signing up with more that truly make them Champions League contenders. And as good a squad as it is, and you keep hold of Cavani and Verratti and Angel Di Maria, I think time will tell whether the addition of Neymar really takes them that additional step. If it doesn't, and they don't follow that up with more signings to see them on the same level of Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich, I'm not sure how you draw any other conclusion.
When we were having a discussion about whether Diego Costa should go to China midway through the season, right? We all sat here and said, look, for the sort of money that they're talking, it was ridiculous money. All of us would say, you know what? See ya, Premier League, I'm out. See ya, Champions League, I'm out. Neymar has the opportunity to get paid that sort of silly money in a team that is going to be in Champions League, that is probably going to win the league. And I still think that it would have been the right decision for him to stay at Barcelona because of what Barcelona is and what he would become at Barcelona in the future. Regardless, it's just too much money to turn down.
It's not about the money for Neymar for me. I think it's definitely about the money from his father and his advisors. They saw the pot of gold. I think they've convinced Neymar that this is the best move to get out of Messi's shadow and try and build a legacy of your own at PSG. I don't think Neymar's moving for the money.
Really?
I think his advisors and his father have sold PSG to him, and he's cashing in that way.
I see where you're coming from, Steve, but I would suggest that if it's about the glory, right, that Neymar, that individual glory, he could get that in Brazil. Can you imagine him leading Brazil as the captain of the national team to a World Cup title? It doesn't get any bigger than that. It doesn't get any bigger role in the world of soccer than that. And he is that for Brazil. So he could have just as easily played his club soccer without the sort of pressures that Messi has and then have the pressure of the national team captain for Brazil. Instead, he's choosing to go in a different direction. I think money plays a big factor in this.
After tax, he's bringing $500,000 a week.
Yeah, that'll do.
Extra time, it is a Neymar special. Gentlemen, there is a surprise. Well, apparently he's going to go to Paris for a lot of money.
Yeah.
When's all this come about?
$1 million a week.
That'll do.
I never know you're making it up.
Is the branding of Neymar as a traitor by Barca fans justified, given he is going abroad and has been a great servant for 4 years? Is he a traitor?
No. There are clauses in place for a reason. A team comes in and pays it. You go to where you think you're best suited. I wouldn't have done it that way if I had been Neymar, but to call him a traitor, I think is different. When he was under contract, he did his job.
A traitor?
Nah, he's not a traitor.
No, Shaq, no traitor. We're not having it. No. Do you think that Neymar will be the player that breaks the streak of Messi and Ronaldo winning the Ballon d'Or?
Maybe in 2 or 3 years. You know, by that time, Ronaldo's going to be, what, 35, maybe, something like that? Messi's going to be, what, 33, something like that? So
it could happen. It could happen next year with the World Cup. That's always a massive on Ballon d'Or. Portugal aren't going to win it. Argentina.
Well, if Brazil wins the World Cup with him in it,
yes,
then Xhaka would say he deserves it.
That's what Xhaka would say. Is that what you would say, Xhaka?
Because unless you win the World Cup, it doesn't count, right?
I'm just sitting over here, just listening to your answer. I don't know how you drag me in this.
Well, you've been dragged in.
To answer your question, yes, I think Neymar will be the one to break the streak.
Okay. Where would Mbappe fit best? Filling the void of Neymar and link up with Messi in Barca, or with Ronaldo in Madrid?
See, that's a good question. That's a good question. Sometimes we don't get good questions. That's a good question.
Well, it's actually a question that there's not a wrong answer to.
Correct.
Correct.
Hold on a minute. So it suits you now. 1 minute you're sitting there, not bothered. Now it suits you to pipe in.
With a correct
Just
answer.
make your mind up. I want some consistency.
Carry on.
I just want some consistency.
Carry on, Stephen.
Well, I'm finished. You're all right. On you go. Have the floor.
Barca or Real Madrid? If you're Mbappe, where would you go?
Mbappe. Real Madrid.
Why?
I don't know.
Brilliant.
I would go Barcelona because I think he comes
Straight into the team, yeah.
Straight into the team, and he's playing right away in a position that is natural to him.
I think you always want to go to the best team. Right now, Real Madrid's the best team.
But you're not guaranteed a starting place.
Players don't think that way.
Do they not?
He will back himself. He will back himself.
I'm sure he
and
would
by the
back-
way, the first time he steps on the field in a Real Madrid shirt, after about 15 minutes, Zidane's going to turn to his guy next to him and go, "There's no way we can't play this guy. Somebody else is going to have to sit over here on the bench."
Right.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
What will that guy say?
You sit in French.
All depends what country he comes from.
Right.
Maybe if he's Scottish, he'll go, "Aye, you're right there, son." You know what I mean? I'm just...
Why are you so close to me?
He's leaning. He's
If
leaning.
he's from Cornwall, they'll go. If he's from Cornwall, they'll go, "All right there, my lover, you better play there." All right.
That's it. Neymar's departure, the big question now is who comes in and fills the Brazilian's boots at Barcelona? Coutinho, of course, heavily linked over recent weeks. But just tonight, L'Equipe are suggesting that Mbappe wants to leave Monaco. How much of a game changer is that in Barcelona's summer if they can get hold of the exciting Frenchman?
I think it's huge. I mean, if you have a choice of one, Mbappe or Coutinho, Mbappe is your winner for me. Even though he may be a solid 50 million more, I think you go for Mbappe. That means Liverpool maybe breathes a sigh of relief. They can afford both.
Oh, what are you suggesting,
I'm
Shaka?
not suggesting anything.
Well, you're suggesting a Coutinho Mbappe.
I was just pointing out that they've got an awful lot of
Is
money.
that combo better than one Neymar?
Yes.
I think so, without question,
Yeah.
yes.
Even long term, because one of the questions that we had come up with was the idea, okay, if you bring Coutinho long term, what does that mean for Barcelona? Is he really the answer to Neymar? And the answer is no. Coutinho's ceiling is not as high as Mbappe's. Now, if you put both of them together, now we're talking. Yeah. Now, if you're a Barcelona fan, your summer has changed dramatically.
Now, what if you're a Real Madrid fan in all of this? Because, of course, they've been heavily linked to a move to get Mbappe. We know he's a big Real Madrid fan. Ronaldo posters on his wall, close with Zidane. How much does that play in his final decision? Say it comes down. I know it could be a long way down the line between Real Madrid and Barcelona. Does it make a difference?
I think it does. I think so far from what we know about all the work that Mbappe and his family have done with Real Madrid, they come across as good people, as honest people. And I do think there are still people like that in the world. It's not always about the money.
Wow.
And I would be absolutely gobsmacked if Mbappe ends up at Barcelona. I do not see that happening whatsoever.
This could turn into a real disaster of a summer for Barcelona. You lose Neymar, Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, and you're stuck with, well, Coutinho. And that's not...
Watch your mouth, though.
what have I said?
Well, I'll tell you what,
that.
I hope the board at Barcelona say the same thing, because we're more than happy to keep him.
Who's we?
Sorry, I meant Liverpool are more than happy to keep Coutinho.
But here's the thing, when you talk about the players that are linked, we talked Mbappe and Griezmann we discussed yesterday, of course, maybe another target. Coutinho isn't quite at that level, is he?
Let's be honest. Unless they get Mbappe, who else on the planet is anywhere near Neymar? I mean, really?
Griezmann's close,
No, he's not.
No?
Come on.
but Griezmann's closer than Coutinho.
Oh, don't start that nonsense. Listen, the fact is that regardless of who you get, if it's not Mbappe, you're not getting close to Neymar. It's just a fact. But you know what? If they use the money to sign a Coutinho, and they use the money to sign a strong, solid ball winner in the middle of the park. And if they use the money to sign a good centre-back, because Piqué's coming to the end of his career, then do you know what? It'll work out.
But we know that's difficult if you cite Spurs when they had all that Bale money. Pretty much all of it went down the toilet. It's difficult, isn't it?
Well, you have to spend it wisely. It's one thing to have it, it's another thing to spend it wisely. But if Barcelona can spend this money wisely, in the long term, from back to front, they might be a better side. But they're never going to get a guy as good as Neymar unless they sign Mbappe.
And that's the kind of the surprising thing with Barcelona's position with PSG. All right, you realize that Neymar is going. I really think that Barca need Verratti. So maybe
Verratti's not going to leave now, though, is he?
Well, but that's what I'm saying. Try to get into some kind of discussion with them. But they just shut that door down, say you have to pay the full price plus tax, get into some kind of negotiation. But there's no real suggestion that happened. And as much as we're talking about Mbappe, given what he's just come out and said, I'm with Stevie on this. I think Real Madrid in pole position to sign him. They're the ones who showed interest from the very start. It could turn out to be a really disappointing summer for Barca.
Just confirm that Mbappe hasn't said anything. These are only reports.
Well, no,
so we don't get into trouble, Shaq.
Do you hear
called me earlier.
Do you hear the excitement in the Real Madrid fan over there?
Yeah.
Where he's like, well, this could really be a poor summer for Barcelona.
But it really could be.
Well, yes. No,
and we've seen it in the... And as Stevie talks about...
What happens if they don't get Coutinho? Like, we all seem to assume that if Coutinho's the guy they want,
yes,
that they're going to get him.
Yeah.
Well, if Liverpool just flat out say no, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Then
which
no.
Klopp said, obviously.
Yeah, which Klopp
said, I don't know why they're bothering and wasting their time.
So the chances of this being a horrible summer for Barcelona are huge.
Thunderstorm is about to come to an end here in Barcelona. The Catalan club is now only waiting for the 222 million euros of the buyout clause to be paid in full by Paris Saint-Germain to make official what already is a reality. Neymar Jr. has already said goodbye to his teammates earlier today and left Barcelona, waiting for the financial operation to be completed before flying to his new home, Paris. The operation is still pending on the financial fair play rules, but his agent told us today that they hope to be finalized this deal by the end of this week. Barcelona are already working in his substitute, and well, this has already happened literally here at the Camp Nou. They have already replaced all his pictures, and more important, Barcelona board of members are now working on his replacement in the field. Liverpool's Philippe Coutinho is at this moment the #1 target for Barcelona. There is already a delegation in England trying to close a deal with the Reds. For ESPN FC, I'm Gemma Soler.
Well, what many people feel is the #3 player in the world will be playing in the French First Division next season.
I think anything is possible, and we talked a lot about Neymar in the show yesterday, and that the door reopened. Clearly, last summer PSG really thought they had him. They really believed they had him. They thought it was done, and he played them so well that he got a new improved deal with Barcelona that he signed, and PSG felt a bit used and said, this is never going to happen again. And here we are, 12 months later, in a similar context, similar situation. Although it seems that things are a bit different on the Neymar side of things. Not so much on PSG, but on Neymar, that maybe there's a bit of tension between his dad and Barcelona. Maybe even Neymar is not so happy that Messi signed a new deal, that again he's going to play second fiddle. Neymar knows there's no way he can win the Ballon d'Or if he plays in the same team as Messi. That's impossible. So maybe, he thinks that's the right time for him to leave, and PSG, money is no problem. They could pay the release clause of 222 million euros. They could pay his huge salary, around 25 million euros a year, probably even. So that's not a problem. Doesn't mean that it will happen, but I think PSG are going to try. I think they will meet Neymar's dad, that's for sure. They see how Barcelona will respond to this. And in the end, maybe Neymar will just sign a new deal at Barcelona and we will see the same scenario as last year again. But maybe this time it could be different as well.
Just give me a quick sense, Julian. Are you more optimistic 24 hours on the moment from when we last talked to you that this deal can happen?
Because PSG are. That's the thing. They get more and more optimistic as the hour. I don't know what Neymar and his dad are saying to the club. I don't know what the club is saying to them. But it seems that they have that momentum going forward for them. And you know what? Marco Verratti, I wonder if they might use him in a way of making that Neymar deal happen as well.
Yeah, Verratti's changed agents as well to our old friend Mino Raiola, just to...
Can I ask a question?
Go on then.
Who do we think the first agent is going to be? A mum? Because everybody's agents are the dad. Oh, the dad's not happy. When's the mum going to get involved in all this?
Perhaps she is.
Maybe she is.
No, women have most of the say-so.
It just sounds so weird.
Ali,
There's a lot of
you,
tension between the father and the dad and PSG.
Leaving the parents out of it for now. Are you more optimistic, like Julian, 24 hours on, that this could actually become a reality? It just seems astonishing. It does.
I don't think so. I think Neymar can sit back and if he thinks about this objectively, and I know the chunk of money that's being thrown out there is just crazy talk, he's not playing second fiddle just to anybody. He's playing second fiddle to perhaps the best player in the history of the game. So anybody else in the world would be playing second fiddle to Lionel Messi. And oh, by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. Because while Lionel Messi attracts all the attention and all the pressure and everything is on his shoulders, you're over here hanging out on the left-hand side scoring goals for fun and enjoying yourself. And you don't have the same sort of pressure that Messi does. If you're intelligent, if you're smart, why leave Barcelona, where you know you're going to be playing for titles every single year? And not just league titles, but you're playing for something else, something bigger. If you're Neymar, the big picture's got to be better than just, hey, let me just go chase the money.
Of all this, the latest reports coming out of Brazil suggest that Neymar has actually accepted PSG's offer. Is there any truth there? Is this actually going to go down?
Well, it's very interesting, Sarah. And what I've been told tonight, just before coming in, was that nothing has been accepted yet, and you can't agree a deal for Neymar and Barcelona in the space of 48 hours, even more, even 3 days. We're talking about, like you said, the biggest transfer of all time, 222 million release clause, a salary for Neymar probably around the 20 million euro mark. So this is not something you agree just like this, but serious discussions and negotiations are going to start very soon for PSG. So far, we're more focused on Alexis Sanchez, but it seemed that in the last day or two, the door was open again for Neymar. But I'll take you a year ago, exactly at this time, more or less, where, again, Neymar was flirting with PSG. PSG really thought that maybe they could get him. And then what happened? They felt used by Neymar and by his dad because he got a new deal, improved deal at Barcelona as well. So right now PSG are taking everything very cautiously and very slowly, saying let's not get carried away, because last year we thought we had him maybe, and in the end he was just wanting a new deal for Barcelona. But they were told that the door is opening and opening and opening, and again, money is no objection for them. So if they have the money and if Neymar is ready to come to Paris, then they will make everything possible to make it happen.
Julien, how realistic do you think it is that Neymar ends up in Paris?
I'm still not really into it. I have to say it's too early for me. I still can't really believe it. One, that I can understand why you would want to leave Barcelona. At some point, Messi just renewed his contract, which means that Neymar, again, is going to play second fiddle for another 3 or 4 years. That's not what he wants. He wants to be the superstar. And there's not many clubs who can afford him at that price. And PSG is one of them, maybe the only one, to have that money available and, without any problem. As well, I think Dani Alves signing for PSG, his great friend, is a very good thing for Paris. I think Maxwell being now the assistant sporting director at PSG is another very good point for the French club, because Maxwell and Neymar, like Dani Alves and Neymar, are all very good friends. And I think Maxwell and Dani Alves have both been on the phone with Neymar. And what's interesting as well is, despite PSG feeling used by Neymar and his dad last summer, they've never stopped contact with Neymar's dad especially. And I think that's a very good thing. If something was to happen, that Nasser El Khelaifi, the PSG chairman, and Neymar's dad have always been very close since last summer and even the summer before that.